think before you order a Pousse Café. Look at my Pousse Café. All backed up, nobody's gonna get a drink, everybody's gonna start complaining. That's your fault. Welcome back, friends. It's Anders. Today we are making the Pousse Café. That's right. The Pousse Café is very serious, actually. It's very, very old. Now, what is a Pousse Café? It's a style of drink that's layered. That's pretty much in a nutshell what this thing is. However, there isn't one true ultimate Pousse Café. There are a number of different recipes. So that's why I'm showing you mine. And there are some things to consider when making your own Pousse Café. This drink that I'm about to make is 7 layers. Hopefully I have a steady hand and I can do it in front of you. And I know a 7-layer cocktail is not practical for everyone at home. So stick around. At the end, I will show you a simple 3-layered Pousse Café shot that you can make at home, practice your layering, and it is quite delicious. A lot of Pousse Cafés are not delicious. I'll explain this later. Hit that subscribe button for more sips, tips, and recipes, and let's go make the Pousse Café. A Pousse Café, not the, there is no the Pousse Café. Let's make a Pousse Café. To the bar. 1862 is where we see first print of a Pousse Café. In fact, we see it a few times in Jerry Thomas's Bartender's Guide. Now in there, he's got a few different Pousse Cafés that are layered cocktails. Pousse Café is French, and Google says that it means coffee push, or a coffee chaser. So this is a drink you would have after a meal, with a cup of coffee, or after a cup of coffee. Personally, I like it with a cup of coffee because there is a lot going on in this drink, and it's nice to have a little palate cleanser right next to you. These things are a little bit monstrous. Because it's a French name, one would assume it's French in its origins. However, there's no proof that it actually came from France. In fact, it was huge in New Orleans, where they spoke French, but they're not popular anymore. In fact, if you were to go into a bar and order one, A, the bartender might not know what a Pousse Café is, or if they do, they might throw you a dirty look, because this is the last thing you want to be making in the middle of a rush. I will say this, before you go into a bar and order a Pousse Café, learn how to make it yourself. And once you get that down, then maybe you can go into a bar and order it from a bartender who happens to be your friend and it's off hours or it's really slow and they don't mind doing it for you. This is how much of a beast these things are. And if they do make you a beautiful looking Pousse Café, don't just take a picture with your phone and slam it. It's not gonna taste good. And before you do drink it, don't go showing everybody at the bar that your bartender made you a beautiful Pousse Café. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at my Pousse Café. Look at my Pousse Café. Don't do that, because then they're gonna want one, and pretty soon the bartender is tied up for the next 45 minutes making 2 Pousse Cafés. And tickets are gonna get all backed up, nobody's gonna get a drink, everybody's gonna start complaining, nobody's happy. So think before you order a Pousse Café. Okay, so we're gonna make 2 of them. First one, 7 layers. We're gonna sip this one, enjoy it slowly with a cup of coffee. Second one, 3 layers, a shot, take it all at once, easy to practice with. Now the booze. Okay. For the 7-layer Pousse Café, you will need raspberry syrup, creme de cacao, creme de violette, a light Amaro, green chartreuse, cognac, and absinthe. Now the way I have it here is my first ingredient in the glass and my last ingredient in the glass. So it goes heaviest to lightest, because you want to make sure that the heaviest, most dense ingredient is sitting on the bottom and the lightest, least dense ingredient is going to be on the top. Generally speaking, the higher the ABV, the less sugar content it has. So it's going to be lighter than a spirit that's lower ABV and has more sugar in it. As an example, my base here has 0 alcohol. This is raspberry syrup. In fact, this is Liber & Company's raspberry gum syrup, which is rather thick, it's heavy, it's delicious. On the other end of the spectrum, we're getting less and less sugar, but higher proof. Now, there are some outliers to this rule. For example, green chartreuse. Green chartreuse is higher proof than the cognac, but it has more sugar added to it. So it wants to sink beneath the cognac because it's heavier. So there's gonna be some trial and error. You'll have to figure it out. There's another thing that you wanna keep in mind when you are building your own Pousse Café, and that is how each ingredient evolves into the next. One of the issues I've had with Pousse Cafés in the past is I feel that it's more about how it looks rather than how it tastes. Think about the order that you're gonna build it, and then think about the order that you're gonna taste it. With that, we can build. All right, I'm gonna put up this white background for that camera because Oz told me to do so you can see all the layers. I'm just gonna show you how I do it. There are a few different ways that you can layer the spirits on top of each other. First, we start by putting the raspberry syrup in the bottom. Half an ounce of your raspberry syrup. I actually went a little under half an ounce because that's a lot of raspberry syrup. That'll be the last of the jigger. From here on out, I'm gonna be using this itty bitty beaker because it gives me more control over the speed. Ingredient number 2, half an ounce of the creme de cacao. When it's really deep like this, it helps if you have a bar spoon with a disc on the end, and then pour it down the stem of the spoon. That's one way to do it, but I like this way better, over the back of a spoon. Next ingredient, creme de violette, half an ounce. I like to brace one edge of the spoon against the inside edge of the glass, and I will do the same with my little mini beaker here. Over the back of the spoon, and be patient. It helps to slowly lift up the spoon as you pour. Next we have the Amaro Nonino. All of these are the same amount. The green chartreuse. Now I'm rinsing out the beaker in between each use. You really don't have to, I'm just being picky. Yeah, it's pretty cool. The cognac. Too much talking in this video, okay. Surgeons will be good at this. I am more of a caveman than a surgeon. Finally, the absinthe. This is a clear absinthe. It's considered a white absinthe or a blue absinthe, and this is gonna be on the top, so this is what will smell. Oh, I did it! I did it! Now imagine you go to a bar and you order this and you shoot it all at once. Number 1, that's a lot of booze. Number 2, it's gonna taste like a big hot mess. And that's not the bartender's fault. That's your fault. What you are to do is to sip one of these layer by layer, and the drink evolves all the way to the very bottom. Almost too beautiful to drink. Good job, Anders. Good job. I'm proud of you. So now I will show you how to drink it. Best enjoyed with a cup of coffee, in my opinion. I think you can guess what I'm gonna taste most here. It's absinthe on the top. Cheers. Whew, strong up front. It tastes like absinthe because that's what it is. I'm not gonna show the whole sipping process because that would be a really long video and I've got stuff to do, but you'll get the idea. Second sip. I am taking small sips right there. Absinthe and cognac. It's already changed on second baby sip. Now more chartreuse. Still a little bit of cognac. Haven't gotten to that Amaro yet. Needless to say, those first few sips are very strong. It does get less and less so the more you drink it. It's actually really good with the coffee. Really good with the coffee. Because now we're starting to get a little bit sweeter. I think you get the idea. This is a novelty drink. Is it a must have? Maybe it's a must try. Have it with a cup of coffee. If you need to know, I'm drinking Bartender's Blend. Now, as promised, I will show you a quick little Pousse Café shot that I like very much. You could call this a layered shot because that's exactly what it is. For that, we'll set that aside, grab yourself a little shot glass. I'm gonna start with Benedictine. For this, I'm just gonna eyeball it. So 1/3 of your shot glass, Benedictine. Then I'm gonna add green chartreuse. Now, if you have a speed pour, this will really help. You have better control as to how fast the liquid comes out of the bottle. Gently, slowly. We're gonna do about the same amount. Now, Angostura bitters. Both Benedictine and the chartreuse are sweet, so we want something dry and bitter, and Angostura bitters is perfect for this. You can float it right on top. Okay, so there it is. This one works great for a shot because there aren't a million flavors to get all muddied up. 3 flavors that work really well together. This is a more practical approach to the Pousse Café. Remember, heaviest ingredients on the bottom, lightest ingredients on the top. Plan your flavors and enjoy yourself a Pousse Café. I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Cheers.